Hi folks, here we are in the south woods of the Annapolis Valley up on the South Mountain, and I'm headed down a little dirt road. It's 27 degrees and feels like 36, and I'm doing a little something different today. I'm heading out here. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Got my backpack in the back, and I also have my float tube, so it's going to be a little bit of an awkward hike today, but I'm hoping to get back to a little lake I know that has some white perch, and maybe get cooled off a bit by being able to float tube. So we're going to have some fun in one way or the other, and it's certainly an area where I'm considering setting up on a more permanent basis, because I have access to fishing and hunting practically year round of one thing or another. So been itching to get back. It's been a few years, and I'm gonna have a peek around and hopefully get cooled off in the float tube and catch some fish, because I really didn't bring a whole lot of food unless I want some dehydrated hash browns by themselves. I kind of want a little bit of fish to go with them. So here's hoping that we catch some fish today. Well, we're off. Got the tube strapped on me as best I can, and we're giving this whole thing a try. Hopefully it turns out as well as I originally planned. So stay tuned. One way or another, we're gonna have fun. Oh, she's certainly hot and muggy, but fortunately we're only looking at about a kilometer, a little over a kilometer total, and even though I've only been in here in winter before, I think between my compass and everything I'll be able to find my way in once this path stops, and then I'll have probably about, if I remember correctly, 400 meters maybe, something along those lines. So not far from where I need to be. That tells me it's now my time to bushwhack. Well, this ought to be a lot of fun. So nothing like bushwhacking through the ferns on a feel like 36-degree day with a fully loaded backpack and a float tube. Just what the doctor ordered. Okay, I'm gonna find my way around this, and then we'll bring you back. Well, there she is, folks. Didn't come in exactly where I wanted. Took a shortcut, and unfortunately that didn't work out very well, as I got down to a god-awful swamp. And so it's been about an hour for the last 300 meters or so, maybe a little better, but I lost my hat to boot. Well, not sure it's worth going back the trail I came in to try to find it, but hey, we're here now. Extremely hot, looking forward to the water, but I want to find that camp spot that I was thinking of first. I don't think it's very far from here, so I'm going to have a look for that, and then probably get some air in the old tube here once my lungs settle down from the slough through the swamp to get in here. And well, it's a little after 5. I'm looking for white perch, so as long as I'm fishing by 7, I should be able to find a couple for supper. So anyway, stay tuned. We're sure to have some more. Okay, so here's my little point that I'm going to be staying on tonight. It is a spot that's been used by people, even some permanent shelters. There's actually an old open camp here that there's a little log book left in by some people that were doing some leave no trace, building their own shelter camping in March 2016. They left a nice little notebook in the camp, and it doesn't look like the camp's been used at all in recent years. It's still the door was slightly ajar, so it's got a little bit of a mess in it, but otherwise not too bad. But I'm gonna call this place home tonight, this little point, and now I gotta find a little bit of firewood. Fortunately, the Nova Scotia fire ban, at least for here, was lifted for between today at 2 p.m. and tomorrow morning at 8. So I brought my little Bushcraft Essentials grill, and that's what I hope to cook my fish up tonight. And of course, that entails me actually catching some fish. So I'm going to start getting camp set up and maybe get a little wood put away, cooled off here a little bit. We got a nice breeze coming off there now, although that's not exactly what we want for float tubing. But in any event, we got to get things rolling here, and hopefully we'll be able to catch supper in a couple hours. Don't need a lot of firewood, but just enough for a little cooking fire for tonight, because I'm still assuming I'm going to get out there in a little bit and catch some fish. Okay, so I'm finally got some little camp chores. If I wasn't quite stretched for time and it wouldn't have taken me quite so long to get in here, I would have videotaped more of that, but perhaps next time. Anyway, I've got my float tube blown up with my lung power to finish her off, and I got my flippers down here. I got an old can I found that I already drenched the fire pit area around the fire pit and all that, and then my 775 Alpine pan or Seagull pan by MSR or whatever that I'm going to use to take some water up and boil once I get back. Of course, my fishing rods and that. So anyway, we're going to jump in this thing and go out and see if we can catch a fish, and hopefully we'll be able to show you one or two. There's yellow perch and white perch, and unfortunately there's chain pickerel. Anyway, if we can't pick up a perch or two for supper, we're going to try for a pickerel for supper, because we got to eat. So stay tuned. Once we're on the water and situated, we'll see if we can get into some fish. Oh, it's but nice being out float tube again. Mine had busted. One very similar to this one. Just started not performing well, so a year or so ago, and just got around to replacing it. Got a couple different lures on and a bunch of things. I like carrying multiple rods whenever possible. That way it's just easier to switch up. You get a couple things on and you go from there. So I'll switch back and forth for these two for a little bit. And this is just a simple spinner, but simple spinners have accounted for a ton of fish over the years. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna get myself down to a cove that I particularly like. A little cove not far from here, but it'll take me a little bit of time when my own legs aren't used to this flipper nonsense. So we'll bring you back if we happen to get on a fish or once we get into another spot. So stay tuned. Okay, I was just threw the lure out behind me here as I was kicking to my new spot, and something latched on pretty friggin' quick. So let's see what we got here. We got a chain pickerel. course we do. Well, not the white perch I wanted, but decent sized chain pickerel for eating. Ouch. Oh, I think I got a little lucky there that you didn't actually bite me off. But this one might have to go on the stringer, and he might be supper tonight. So anyway, he's got it down there. So my hatless self we're just kicking across the old lake here. I got a line running behind me with a spinner just in case. Why? So, any other vessel would only take like 2 minutes, 15 seconds, but we're going on a little bit of a workout. I should sleep good tonight with my leg workout. So, I haven't seen any white perch. Ideally, I'd like to see it calm down, and then they might get active. We'll keep plugging away, and maybe when the sun gets a little lower, we'll catch one or two. Just some of these isolated lily pad patches out on the lake here. When the white perch are on, I often find them here, but it's just been so hot and humid. Even that pickerel that I caught, he's swimming around here. He was down fairly deep, so you'd expect them to be in shallow. So anyway, weather has everybody messed up around here. So I got one fish for supper. I definitely could stand a little more, but I really don't want any more pickerel. So if that's what I'm going to catch, I don't mind catching them. And they're good eating. They just don't hold water to the old white perch. King of the freshwater fish, if you ask me. There's a place for them. I just don't like them moved around. Leave them where they're at. And I see a bit of carcasses there. I mean, I don't have my favorite white perch for this lake lures on right now, but oh, that's got to be a pickerel. The way that hit right off the bat. Yeah, little pickerel. Come on, buddy. You get a free ride. There you go. Free ride for Mr. Pickerel. That one, not so much. Hey, Mr. Pickerel. What? Oh, is that a pickerel? Oh, that might be our first white perch, folks. Oh, let's try to get him in here. Yes, sir, beauty. Oh, just hook lightly. Oh, wow. That's what we're looking for. Oh, easy now. Ah, that is it right there. That is a dandy white perch. And that is really gonna be exactly what the doctor ordered for supper. That just made my night right there. I was looking for them, and to get a nice one close to the shore like that, it's kind of weird, but hey, not much going on. Fish or two, well, a few pickerel now, and still just the one white perch, but she might change around here after a little bit. I'm going to try some different things as it gets a little dark, closer to dark. So I'll be cooking. Not quite sure how or what I could be able to show as far as the cooking part. I dearly love cooking and really hope to share a lot of that by a video, but tonight is going to be a late cook night, I am afraid. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Just had a nice pair of wood ducks fly by down into the other end, just heating and hauling. I just absolutely loved their call. So that was about it for action, besides a couple more small pickerel. But I am seeing a little bit more bug action on the water, so you never know. I don't know how late I'll stay out on the water. I want to get in there and clean up my fish and have my supper, but I got a little rappel on here now, just seeing if I can spruce up a strike. Oh, it's about the final hurrah as far as fishing tonight goes. Was able to catch a couple more pickerel. Actually just caught a nice one here fishing out on the deep water, which I was expecting a white perch, but just an absolutely gorgeous evening and kind of what the doctor ordered. It's the beginning of my vacation. It's been hectic leading up to this week, and this is a good way to start. And I'm gonna shut her down and head in, get a little fire going before clean my fish up. And I don't know what it will be like as far as video quality, but hopefully I'll at least get a few pictures of the food, and maybe some of the video will be usable. I'm still new at the whole video thing, so we'll try to get some good video, but tonight is definitely going to be fishing in there, cooking fish in the dark for sure. So we're going to have fried fish and some dehydrated hash browns. I'll have to rehydrate them, then fry them up. So that should make for a rather tasty meal, I think, especially with our one pickerel here and a fine white. Oh, there, we just got hit right at the... that was nice, just as I'm wrapping up. Oh, that must be a white perch the way that hit. Yes, sir, look at that. Well, we might have two white perch on the menu tonight. We got white perch number 2, so we're gonna have a great feed. We might even have a little fish with our bacon, or with our eggs in the morning, because I did bring a few eggs in. So a lot of people worry about refrigerating eggs, but we keep our own chickens and really don't refrigerate them until we wash them. So never had a problem. So just throw them in an egg travel case. Got a couple eggs with me for the morning, and there you have it. Looks like I'll be eating good tonight. So, definitely got a great amount of fish for fry. We got the one pickerel. Kind of wish I would have released him now, but I had to make sure I had supper, so he'll be still good. There's definitely a tasty fish. People don't realize it, but they are, and really not all that hard to clean. So after that hit, I just want to stay out longer, but I know I really should get in and get changed and get a fire started and clean my fish. I'm gonna fish for a few more minutes, shut this down, and then get my butt in there. Unless the lake really lights up. I just started seeing some fish jump down farther, so who knows? I could be fishing here. I got about an hour of legal fishing left, so. But kind of hungry too, so. So good morning, folks. Made it through the night last night. Got all my normal aches and pains and all that. Didn't sleep the greatest, but I never do on the first night of a camping or a hiking trip. That's usually the day of settling in on fortunately today that's just the one night, so I'm going to start packing her up. I slept a little past 8, so I'm going to do my breakfast on the alcohol stove this morning, and then we're going to hit the road and try to find a little more hospitable way of getting in and out of this spot. So we'll be back. Well, it's been a good trip. Had a little bit of trouble getting in here. Hoping to have a whole lot less trouble coming out. So we'll touch base when we're back out at the vehicle and just wrap things up. But it was a rough ride getting in, but it's certainly worth it. Almost always is when you're out in the woods. So I guess it's time to bushwhack my way out of here. Take care. So I'm back out, folks. Maybe a little easier, but my, with that heat, slugging through the backcountry without a trail is not an easy prospect. I hope everyone realizes that some of this stuff that we do, it's just as dangerous, and you have to be just as careful in the summer months than in the fall or winter. Water is a huge deal. I went through a ton, and I had my Solar Mini with me, and I had some of that squirt, like Mayo juice, but that has electrolytes, and I put that to me, and I drank a pile. I drank 1.5 liters on the kilometer trip out, because it's, well, the vehicle's saying 27 already, and of course with the muggy air, it's much worse than that. So just make sure you're prepared, because regardless of the time of year, it has its challenges, and you want to be safe out there in the woods. Anyway, I had a great trip, quite a workout to boots, and if you enjoyed this video, maybe hit the subscription button, and we'll sure to have some more adventures coming up real soon. Take care.